Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. So today is our first attempt at making hay in a day, as I call it. So as many of you will know, we got the KUHN Optiwrap OWR 6000 and we're gonna try our hand at making some baleage. I am a little worried that since this is grass, it's dried out really fast. And I'm kind of concerned as to what the moisture is gonna do, but I just cut this a little over 12 hours ago. Travis is bringing the baler out. We're gonna see what the moisture is on this hay after we make a bale. All the hay out in the pasture here is gonna be immediately hauled in and put into the wrapper and wrapped. So we're aiming between 40 and 60% moisture. I am a little worried that we're getting probably down to like 20 or 30, but we'll wait and see, I guess. Now this is our first tried and true attempt at making baleage instead of just wrapping dry hay. So forgive us if, things don't go exactly as planned. But if it is a little bit drier than anticipated, how I would curb that is I would lay the hay down in windrows instead. And I would have pulled, actually the conditioner wasn't all the way down with the grass up here. It was down in the bottom because it was getting late when I knocked that down. So we'll just have to wait and see what the moisture is, but don't be too surprised if things don't go exactly as planned. This is our first time too, so still a learning experience. Everything that's mowed always was grass. However, as many of you will remember, I've been going around and brush mowing, and pretty much every area where you see grass that's not cut is an area that I cleaned up with the brush mower. Like down in the bottom down there, that was all grown up to brush at one point, and now we just got one giant spot in the center. So including everything across the fence here, I went through the trees and cleared everything out. But we're gonna leave Dad to his own device, and we're gonna head over to the farm, see how Travis is coming along, and hopefully start baling this sooner than later, because we want to get all these hauled in right away so that we can get them wrapped. They say you should want to wrap them within 2 hours, but at most you usually want to wait 12 hours to get them wrapped, because by then, if the bales are higher moisture, they'll start heating and you'll start losing hay quality. So the sooner you get them wrapped is always better. I mean, there's a lot of variability in the moisture there. Grass overall is going to dry really fast compared to alfalfa, and when you're making baleage, it usually suits best to have a crop like alfalfa where you're trying to make baleage. So since this is just pasture grass, should be roughly 30 bales or so. We're going to try our hand at it just as a test run before we actually do any alfalfa. We've got the wrapper here, so I'm gonna push the hitch back in so that's out of the way, and I'm gonna drive it down to where we're gonna start lining the bales up. So let's go ahead and start it up. Now this is one of KUHN's pilot units. It's serial number 2, I believe. So the monitor here is beeping because it doesn't sense the controller, which it has a remote that's in the far side. I'm not going to use it right now, but it is charged up and ready to go. So hit the OK button. Now if you come over to the monitor and see, right now we're sitting at a total of 801 bales. Let's see how many we get today. Let's go ahead and fire this up and get it on the level. So you can control it and steer with one of these two handles and forward and backward with the other one. We're gonna pull this over to the shed where I can load it up with the film that we bought. Before they brought it over to us, they added a couple things to it. One would be the remote, and so now it can be steered from the skid steer, which is going to be really nice. It also has film sense on it. So on the stretchers here, there's a sensor in this box that will detect if the film is being dispersed or not. So the nice thing about this is that it has two stretchers on it, so if one of these wraps breaks, the machine will know that, and it'll automatically compensate and slow down so that it'll still be putting on the same number of wraps, even though one of the films might have broke. That's film sense. The thing that I thought was really cool about that was that there are no batteries in it. It generates an electrical current when these spin here, and it brushes up against this box. So it generates an electrical current, and that transmits to a box over by the computer that lets you know, hey, one of the films isn't stretching out. Here's our sensor. This is what tells the wrapper that, hey, we've got a bale loaded on it, time to push the plunger in. We should be good. All I got to do now is drop that ramp down, and we'll drive it down to where we're going to be putting the bales. That's one of the coolest things about this, because this wrapper is self-propelled. Even Hannah said that when it showed up. She's like, are there keys to that thing? I'm like, no, but it does start up and drive itself. And she's like, that's so cool. As you can tell, we got two line of bales here from last year, but they're not hurting anything where they're at. We're going to start over by the fence and just start working this way. So I found a neat little chart that shows the expected moisture content in the hay after you windrow it. So it shows two lines, and it compares a narrow windrow versus laying it out flat. And if had I found it yesterday, I probably would have narrowed it up as small as I could. Because I think it is going to be a little bit more on the drier side, which I'd rather it be more dry than wet, because how we're working these next few days is kind of like a boomerang. We went down to the valley, cut that, and I came out here, cut this. Now we're raking and baling this, and then tomorrow we're going back down to the valley. So I didn't want to have this not be dry enough to where it's absolutely too wet, because I'm not familiar with how well the hay dries down as far as like making it in a day. So if you were going to lay it out flat, what you'd truly do is make it that very same day, because according to the chart, if you were to lay it out flat and you cut it early enough in the morning, then it would lose enough moisture where you could make it all in that same day. But lessons learned. Like I said, this is our first time doing this. I expect by the time we get to baling it, I expect that it's going to be around 30% moisture, which is lower than what I would like, but it is what it is. We got to get the stuff made. I'd like to leave it sit out even longer, but we've got enough hay down at the valley that that's going to be a big enough problem for us to get made. So I'm glad that I tried this on the grass here before I did it on all my alfalfa, because depending on when we expect to make it, I'll probably keep it narrow. But I wanted to play it on the safe side, so I laid it out flat. When Travis gets out here, he's going to start baling, and Dad and I are going to be starting to haul in bales. And once Travis is finished, he's going to help Dad haul in, and I'm going to start wrapping. So that's the current game plan for now. I'm waiting on Dad because he's done raking these 4 hillsides already, and he's going to go over to the other side and finish up. I expect Travis should be coming along anytime now to start. this puppy up and get a line going. Travis had to go back to the farm and get the 569 because our older baler just can't handle the wetter material. Although this is dry, I would consider this dry material. However, it is to the point where if we were using our older baler, we'd be like, yeah, it needs to wait until tomorrow. But I think it's pretty good. Backwards toilet paper roll. This is the last bale for this row. We're gonna start over. Just got our new line started. Wrapper's working great. So I've been testing this stuff and we're sitting right around 20%, which is still kind of on the high side, higher than what I'd like it to be. But next time, I'd love to try to make some baleage, but I've got some end caps coming, so hopefully here we can give that a try and be actually successful this time and not accidentally make dry hay. So how many bales did we end up with today? Half, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 39! I got 9 more bales than last year. Well, there you have it, folks. We had this hay wrapped just over 24 hours later. Next time, lesson learned, if I'm cutting grass, definitely going to windrow it. If I'm trying to make baleage, if I'm trying to make it dry, well, the KUHN's mower conditioner, I mean, the grass is cut less than 24 hours beforehand, and the moisture was already down to below 20% in some bales. Some of them are in the 20s, nothing over 30. So you guys will be seeing how well this stuff holds over into the winter. This is going to be the first stuff that I feed out because it's the grass first cut, so it's going to be sitting here all summer long yet. But we're going to leave the wrapper sit where it's at for now because I still have that 11-acre field plus another 12 acres that we need to haul over and wrap yet. So you guys will probably be seeing us when we do that. But what we're going to be doing tomorrow is we're going to be going down into the valley, and I'm going to be running that 569. So I didn't get a whole lot of footage of that today, but that'll be in tomorrow's video, so I didn't really bother getting much of baling. So anyway, the wrapper ran really good. It's really nice having it here because I know that we're going to have really good feed here as long as I can pin down getting the moisture just right. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All how farms work. And with that, I'll see you next time.